What's up, everybody? It's John with John Sports Odds and Collectibles coming at you with a brand new video. How's everyone doing there today in the YouTube universe? That'd be kind of cool to make a video about your biggest regret that you've had being in this hobby. I have two. I have one that's an honorable mention and one that is number one on my list and will always be number one on my list until I get the card to replace. But I thought it might be kind of fun to talk about this, and misery loves company, so to speak. So I figured, let me share my two stories here on the two biggest regrets that I have ever had in this hobby. Now, I returned to this hobby back in 2018 when I started up this YouTube channel, and things have grown over the years. And this is my 6th year on YouTube right now. So, and I have a much larger collection than I had as a youth. But I started out as a young collector back in the mid 70s and continued to be a collector until probably about 1986, 87-ish time frame. While I was in high school, I became disinterested in it. I was more interested in girls and sports and cars and college. Those four things right there. And so cards were not even on my top 10 list. So I kind of stopped collecting and maybe bought a few packs in like 88, 89, just because I was bored or whatever, and maybe in the early 90s too. And then didn't touch cards, think about cards, even, anything with card. Nothing in my brain thought about cards at all. Like, never came up until 2018 when my family told me to come over and pick up my collection. And then I kind of thought, well, I could start up a YouTube channel here too. My son's kind of egged me on, to do it, kind of convinced me to do it, and I did. And so here we are. But I have two regrets, two things that one's an honorable mention and one's the biggest one. And this first one is a big time regret because the card is from a set. And I didn't realize it was from a set at the time. Now, this card I got graded by Beckett, and that's why you see this website here. Let's just scroll this down so we don't have to look at that image anymore. It was graded by Beckett. The other one was graded by Beckett as well. It was one of the first grading orders that I ever did. And this first card, let's just show you here, is this one right here. This is the honorable mention. Again, both of these, well, not again, but both of these cards are obtainable for me financially. Not right this moment, but hopefully soon. They're on my list of things to pick up again. I wish that I never would have sold either one, because, I was the original owner of both of these cards. And the second one I'll show you guys in a second, and we'll talk about that one too. But this one, let's talk about first. And the reason this one kind of breaks my heart is that this 1985-86 Topps Mario Lemieux. Now, this is not my original card here. This is just one I just pulled off of eBay that had sold. But I thought that I had like a few copies of this card. I knew that I had the O-Pee-Chee set from this year. Definitely knew I had that. And got that card graded, the rookie for Lemieux in that set. But what I didn't know is that I had the set for Topps as well. I thought I just had a bunch of loose Topps cards from this year that were just one, that I had put in order in one row of the box, and then there were, I thought, were maybe like duplicates in the other row. And it turns out that this Lemieux was part of the set. And how did I find that out? After the card back, it was got a 9. After it came back, I listed this on eBay. I thought, I've got a couple of these. I can sell this. This is no big deal. I think I sold it for $150. This is back in 2018, folks. So this is before the pandemic, before the boom in the industry and whatnot. And so I sold this card for $150. When I started diving into my collection, I believe probably like really deep dives into my collection, like the 2019, 2020 time frame, I came across this set again, and I didn't realize it was set. I started looking through it. I'm like, wait a minute, these are all in sequential order. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, where is the Lemieux? I thought, well, maybe the Lemieux's in the other row with the other cards, thinking that I had two of these. I scoured through those, no Lemieux. I was like, oh my God, I sold the card from the set, not realizing it. At that point, I was like, oh, what did I do? What kind of bonehead mistake did I make? Oh my God, what an idiot I am. So yes, I sold this card, not realizing that it was from the set, and it takes the honorable mention for one of the biggest mistakes that I ever made in the hobby. Okay. Second one, and this one's a doozy, being that this year of this release it's been in the talked amongst in the hobby lately a lot because of this case that was found of this particular year, and it is this card right here. Now this is not my original. This is just another one that's sold that I couldn't find an image of. The B. I don't think they put this. Maybe they did put this in a BVG holder. It's 1979 A Topps Wayne Gretzky, his rookie card. My card got a 5, just like this one. And my card actually looks a little bit better than this one. And I thought they kind of like were hard on my card. I felt like it was definitely higher than a 5, but what can you do? So I sold this one too, knowing that I only had one, but thinking that at the time and back in 2018, like, well, if I want to get this card again, either raw or, in the same grade or even a higher grade, it's not going to appreciate. I think I talked to my family about it. Like, what do you guys think? And they were like, just sell it if you need a few extra bucks here and there. It's worth selling. You can get it again down the road. Well, I didn't know that this card would like go way up in the value for this grade and every other grade. And again, another major blunder. My number one regret that I have in this hobby, biggest mistake that I ever made was selling this card, because I pulled this card as a 10-year-old. So I was the original owner of the Gretzky rookie that I sold. I think I listed it for $500. I think I may have sold it for like I thought $300 to $400, somewhere in that range. I can't find the records of it anywhere. I tried to go back on eBay. It won't let you go back that far. And I did find a listing email from eBay, but the listing is not accessible in their database anymore. I really wanted to see that and show that actual image, actually on both of these. So again, a card that's obtainable, a card that I can get eventually, which will happen, but not at the moment. Let's just look at some sales of these. This was a heartbreaker for me. I was a major Wayne Gretzky fan as a kid. And then when Mary Lemieux got drafted by the Penguins, that all changed. Super Mario was number 1, and the great one, to me, was number 2. And everything, for me, was all about Mary Lemieux. And it still is. I don't idolize any sports figures at all, but I appreciate specific ones, and in particular Mary Lemieux, because he essentially saved our hockey franchise when we drafted him, because we ended up just eventually exploding into and becoming a powerhouse, a dynasty, so to speak. And he helped us get our first 2 Stanley Cups, and everybody knows hockey history knows all about Mary Lemieux. I mean, Gretzky is incredible too. But again, Mario is my favorite, aside from Clemente, probably a sports figure of all time. Now let's just take a look at a couple sales here. Let's look at the Lemieux. Let's see if there's. So here's the 9. These are definitely obtainable cards that I can eventually pick up when I have the extra cash lying around. Here's one listed for $900, $899. It's a BGS. I could go with PSA, whoever I want, but it's probably I think the PSA probably is a little bit higher for the Lemieux. So it's definitely an obtainable card. And let's just see if any of it sold recently. I'm just curious. Let's look down here and click on this. And let's see. An 8, and 9.5 sold for only $1,500. I don't understand why people do auctions on these kind of cards. I think it's really, really stupid. This card is probably worth at least $3,000, and they just gave it away for $1,550. That's like really not very bright, but people can do what they want, I guess. Here's a 9 that was sold for, they took the best offer. So there you go. Oh, well, actually, I take that back. This is actually a good price for the tops. I take that back. The O-Pee-Chee one is the one that's worth all the money, and that's the one I have, thank God, and still I hold in my possession. Okay, so there's that one. So I take that back. This actually is actually a decent it's a decent payout here on this. But I still would not have done this as an auction. They probably could have, you know, got more if they just waited it out. Okay, so there's the Lemieux. Let's just look at the Gretzky. Again, an obtainable card. There's this one here that was sold for $815. There is an SGC that sold for a little, probably under 1,000 is my guess. Here's a 6.5 that sold for less than what they were asking. So this is definitely a card that I can pick up at some point in the future when I have extra money lying around, and hopefully that'll be sooner than later. So I don't have to lament over this anymore. Here's one that's right now currently at $500. So there you go, guys. I just want to share my stories with everyone out there, and feel free if you're a collector and you want to share your biggest regret in the hobby, feel free to make a video about this. This isn't anything. I just, you know, thought this would be a cool idea, and, you know, maybe it's good to start a conversation up with, you know, within the community. And like, why don't we, you know, want to put a hashtag hobby regrets. You know, maybe that'll be a good way for people to look at those videos. And I'll put that hashtag up in the title of this one. And I look forward to your comments down below. Tell me what your biggest regret was, your biggest mistake in the hobby. I'd love to know what that is. We can all share in each other's misery and lament over all of it. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Remember to like, subscribe, comment down below, share this video with your friends or your loved ones. Our eBay store link is down below in the description. Till next time, folks, this is John Sports Collectibles signing off an 8. I'll see you all soon.